Hello, everyone. Dr. Mandell here with you. Hope you're having a pleasant day or night, regardless of where you are worldwide. We are doing live streaming here. The topic is about menstrual cramps, about things that we as we say, the people out there, particularly women we are referring to, can do pertaining, what you can do pertaining to these particular cramps that you're having that can be really a drag. I realize this as notifications are going out. Let's go into basically what is a menstrual cramp. I just first want to say that the drug industry is making lots of money off of women just for this. The uterine contraction that's felt during that time, that's the menstrual cramps, is because the contraction is inhibiting the blood flow of the lining of the uterus, and that is the endometrium. The endometrium is the area within the uterus, and obviously this cramping, because of sloughing that's giving way as a result of the change of hormonal level of estrogen, you are sloughing off at that time of the month, and as a result of the uterus contracting, we are affecting vessels around it, which we are causing like hypoxia or temporary closure of those vessels go into those muscles. So as a result of these leukotrienes during menstruation, that squeezing going on is causing lack of blood flow. And as a result of that, we get cramps. It starts to hurt. So what are we doing about it? Well, I want to try to get your mind off of the drugs and try to get it more on the holistic, natural things, particularly things that we can do to inhibit the prostaglandins from being secreted. I want to say hello to all our chatters out there. Thank you for being here. We're talking about the anti-inflammatories, the ibuprofens, the proxins. We're talking about the drugs that are out there to help these particular conditions, but we have to be really careful because these drugs can lead to blood pressure elevation. It can lead to clotting. It can lead to stroke. It can lead to damage to the liver, particularly acetaminophen. We talk about ibuprofens or naproxens. That can affect the kidneys. So we need to be careful. And is it fair to your body that every 28 days, because generally on the 14th day is a time when you will menstruate, every 28 days or maybe every 24 days, you're living on these pain medications and these anti-inflammatories that's doing damage to you? You need to be careful. So I'm going to go over a few important things. My goal here is to try to get you smart, things we can supplement naturally by reducing these high prostaglandins, which are the main problem. But the first thing, and probably one of my most favorite important things, and the safest thing, is omega-3s. Now, I did a lot of videos here on omega-3s, but I need to say something important. People out there who eat lots of oils and enriched grains and who are getting lots of omega-6s, the omega-6 levels are so high. We keep talking about this, and those omega-6 levels are causing inflammation. So the first thing we want to do is we want to reduce inflammation. And by reducing inflammation, we need to increase our omega-3s. Now, if you love eating lots of omega-6s, and again, the grains, the oils, sunflower oils, and lots of nuts, and again, certain nuts do have omega-3s, like we're talking about the ALAs and walnuts, but you need to up those omega-3s. So you're going to get that primarily from fish oils, krill oils, chia seeds, flax seeds, walnuts, and those ALAs have to be converted to the EPA and DHA, so you're not going to get as much, but the fish oils and the krills you're going to get more of, but nothing more than the fish oils. So that is another topic. You can look at my video on omega-3s or omega-6s. I have lots of good stuff in there. But that is one of the most important things, because as we increase our omega-3 levels, we will have less inflammation and we will limit and inhibit a lot of those prostaglandins. It's the prostaglandins of the inflammatory changes that's disrupting this normal healing that's going on within your body that's causing you to have this significant pain. So we are disrupting the blood supply. We're depriving oxygen, causing that cramping, and we want to do it naturally. So I want to talk about a lot of things you can do pertaining to some herbs and some other alternatives. We want to actually understand that vitamin E is a very important thing, and most of us get these vitamins, but by supplementing a little more vitamin E at the beginning of your menstruation, maybe 2 days before, particularly when you feel maybe a little bit of uncomfortableness or cramping, starting to feel some cramping. When we up the vitamin E a little bit, this inhibits these prostaglandins from being synthesized. These obviously are good in nuts and seeds, which are the best sources, and vegetable oils. But again, because when we do one thing, it affects another, but it's still good. So I will tell you to still eat these things, but make sure you up your omega-3s. If you're supplementing with omega-3s, you can afford to do a lot of that omega-6 eating. There's a lot of things that you can do. Now, the other thing I want to mention, vitamin B3, niacin, extremely effective for menstrual cramps. It's 90% of this study was helped by niacin. But before I go into all the B vitamins, which I'm not going to do because it's going to take quite a bit of time, I'm going to make a suggestion to everyone out there. Get a good B complex, because the B12s, the B3s, the B1s, the B6s are all important when it comes down to neurological changes, when it comes down to blood, when it comes down to metabolic changes. All these things are important with these B vitamins. So instead of me just telling you what this B vitamin does and that B vitamin does, a good B vitamin complex, even they have what they call a stress B vitamin complex that has vitamin C with it, because vitamin C is majorly important when it comes down to healing and collagen and all those other good things, as well as resistance. But zinc is another great thing. Many studies that show that when you start taking zinc right before you're about to ovulate, a couple days before, it's done miracles. Now, generally, zinc is prescribed about 50 milligrams, but the studies are 30 milligrams 1 to 3 times per day, about 1 to 2 days before your menses, and I can almost make you a promise you're going to see big changes. Study after study talks about zinc, but I never hear people talk about zinc. It's kind of amazing. Now, if you like oysters, actually in meats and red meats and poultry, you can get plenty of zinc. Oysters got a load of zinc in there. Google zinc and you'll see quite a bit. Actually, you know what? I can tell you a few important things. Kidney beans, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, spinach. Those seeds, particularly pumpkin seeds, got a lot of zinc. Very, very good for you. Now, one of the most important things I want to mention is magnesium. I would say 2/3 of the world is deficient in magnesium somewhere within some time of their life, because magnesium has over 400 different chemical reactions that's needed in order to work for the body to stay healthy. Magnesium is needed with vitamin C. Magnesium does miraculous things in the body. And I will tell you that most women who have cramping are low in magnesium. There's a lot of big authors who are talking about, who have the magnesium diets and the books and all kinds of stuff. And I'm not going to quote any of these at this time because I don't want to go all into that. It's a little boring. But magnesium-rich foods will really help you significantly. Restoring these levels will progressively reduce the severity and the duration of your menstrual cramps. Try it. Just go ahead and go through it. I can show you a couple of things right here. Give me 1 second. We look at spinach, pumpkin seeds, almonds, black beans. The top magnesium foods. There are, by the way, we're looking at really big stuff here. We're looking at our hormones. We're looking at our PMS. We're looking at many things that go on with magnesium. But when your magnesium balance is down, we're looking for muscle relaxation. We're dealing with the endometrium. We're dealing with the uterus. We're dealing with the smooth muscle. This will help relax the muscle. It's in all the research. But again, this magnesium is depleted in a lot of the soils and a lot of the foods that we get. And even though we're getting the food, sometimes we need to add a little bit more magnesium in our diet. I always take magnesium. Magnesium is probably one of the most important minerals. I believe it's the fourth most common, but it is one of the most common mineral that does so many vital, important things within our bodies. So try supplementing with a little more magnesium. The magnesium can do wonders for you. I just wanted to bring that out, and you can actually look that up through Google. I'm not going to take a lot of your time on that. Healthy fats. I want to make sure that you're getting your healthy fats. There are bad fats and good fats. The omega-3 fatty acids are great. Your salmons are great. Your olive oils are still great. If you're eating the saturated fats, the trans acid fats, these fats are no good. So there are good fats and bad fats, but fats aid in the reduction of this particular condition that we are trying to get rid of. So pertaining to the B vitamins all work with magnesium. The B vitamins work with the different minerals. So I think, as I said about the magnesium, about the B vitamins, make sure that you're getting a good B complex. I really think that will really, really help you significantly. A couple different teas. One of my favorite are chamomile tea. I preach chamomile tea for years and years and years, and it relaxes smooth muscle. If you've never used chamomile tea and you are taking lots of these types of meds at that time for the pain, start supplementing with chamomile tea. It can really, really do wonders for you. A lot of people get that upset stomach. Peppermint tea is extremely good for you. Green tea is exceptionally good for you. No coffee. Cut the caffeine out. Be careful with that caffeine. The caffeine works as a diuretic, and that can actually make conditions worse. A beautiful herb, which is quite new to me, I don't know if many of you have heard this, is red raspberry leaf. This is probably one of the most written upon herbs that's never talked about. This is a dense leaf from the plant that we get from raspberries. It supports our reproductive system. Loads of essential vitamins and minerals are in here to support our health. But what's amazing about this raspberry leaf tea is it reduces spasm. It helps reduce the spasm of these of the muscles. It helps reduce the prostaglandins, which is the big contributor to these menstrual cramps. And it has tremendous amount of antioxidants as well as vitamins in there, and actually strengthens the tone of the uterus and the entire reproductive system for healthier cycles and for better flow. So check into that red raspberry leaf tea. I think that is something that you will appreciate, and I really think that will help reduce a lot of cramping. The next thing is a moist heating pad. One of my favorites. We use this quite often for back pain. Every day when people have problems in backs with their back problem, their neck problem, we put on the muscle. Well, take that heating pad, particularly moist heat, and put it over the belly or the lower back, and it will really, really reduce the muscle contraction. Remember, you're dealing with smooth muscle. It's still a muscle. Heat vasodilates the area, brings lots of blood, and relaxes it. So our key thing that we're after right now is to relax those muscles. Calcium, exceptionally good. Vitamin D, exceptionally good. So we're looking at the foundation of a lot of the videos that we did about bones. We need vitamin D for calcium to be absorbed. We need magnesium, which is half the dose of calcium. Generally, if you're taking 1,000 milligrams, 1,200 milligrams of calcium a day, half that should be magnesium to help assimilate and work with the calcium. Obviously, there are other foods and nutrients. We should make sure we're getting the right nutrients through proper fruits, proper vegetables. And by the way, we're talking about the magnesium, which I didn't mention, green leafy vegetables, one of the best, most important thing. If you like to go ahead and take those vegetables and squeeze them down, juice them down, there's nothing better than those parsleys, than those deep green vegetables. It really makes a big difference. So I think that would really help you. Lastly, I just wanted to briefly state that exercise is good, meditation is good, acupuncture is good. Lots of great studies on acupuncture. I'm not an acupuncturist. These kind of things can really, really help this. But so before you start going for the bottle in your bathroom or down in your medicine chest, whatever it is, just be very careful. The purpose of this is to give you alternatives so you don't have to rely on these toxins that potentially can cause problems to your kidney, problems to your liver, problems to your vessels, potential emboli, potential stroke. If you read the studies that goes on with those kind of drugs, it just takes one person's body chemistry that doesn't like it and they get very sick. So this is all about alternative medicine, and obviously there's nothing better than food to be our medicine, and that should be our first thing that we open up each and every day when it comes to our health and our well-being. So I ask you to share this video, and I hope you enjoyed this. I try to keep it short and to the point. This thing can really be dragged on. I could spend hours talking about this. I just wanted to give you a couple highlights, a couple of these very important nutrients. And one thing I must tell you about is turmeric and ginger. Ginger is an amazing anti-inflammatory. Ginger will do wonders for smooth muscle. It will help a lot of it. And turmeric is probably the best anti-inflammatory out there. And make sure you're taking the piperine, the black pepper with that turmeric, or you are heating it up, putting turmeric over vegetables, or you are taking the turmeric with fat, either avocado, yogurt, milk, whatever it is, because it assimilates better. Remember, when you start taking these vitamins or herbs, you need to make sure you're taking them correctly, because just because you put it in your body doesn't mean it's getting into the bloodstream. So you need to make sure you're doing that right. Anyways, check out my videos. I have many great videos on turmeric, on vitamin D, on K2, magnesiums, and they're really good, and it really is in depth. And if you really want to learn more about all the foods, the cons, the pros, the best way to assimilate it, I really have a lot of good stuff, because those are the highlights that we all need to understand about the good stuff that we want to really take good care of ourselves and our loved ones. So subscribe to my channel, share these videos, and I just want to say thank you, chatters, and thank you for being here with us. I really hope that you benefit from this. But if you have questions, you can go ahead and leave messages here. I'm sure there are thousands of people who are going to look at this, and check out my Facebook. Go ahead and like that, Motivational Doc on Facebook. And I try to get to those questions because it's a lot easier for me to get to. Unfortunately, I don't get all the things that come from YouTube for many reasons. But most important, I just want to say blessings to everyone out there. Make it a great day, and we'll catch up with you real soon. Bye-bye now.